What's up, everyone? Kyle here. Welcome to this edition of Our Travel Tips. Today I'm talking about tips to get a better understanding of the place that you're visiting, or learn more about the history of where you're traveling to. I think it's really important as a traveler to get to know a little bit about the place that you're going to and the place that you're visiting, because I think one, you're gonna have a deeper understanding of of the place that you're in and like how things are the way they are, as you're seeing them, as you're experiencing them when you're traveling. But also, I think locals really appreciate it when you do take the time and effort to get to understand a little bit about who they are as a society, as a people, as a community, in the place that you're in. So before you go on the trip, there's a couple things that I think are you could do. One is to look at history books or read history books. I know I've learned a lot of things in school over the years. I've learned reading, nonfiction type history books about different places around the world, which has helped me to get a better understanding um, of that place. Another good one and a fun one, in my opinion, one that I really enjoy, is reading books from the place that you're visiting. So, this example came to me because I am currently reading Karenina, which is from Tolstoy, Russian author, really famous. And I think especially like with when it comes to Russia, there's such rich history there, and so many great novels like that one have come out of Russia over the years. And so reading something like that can really help you understand a little bit about the history of what Russia in this case was like during that time when this was written, and how maybe that's helped kind of shift or change the way things are to their present day. So that's a fun one and a really interesting one, in my opinion. Another one, or actually these ones are two separate ones, but I think they kind of go together. There's a lot of great YouTube videos out there that talk about histories of different places. You could find a number of them out there. Maybe I'll start one about that too. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Or news programs or things like that. The news programs would help you get more kind of current event type stuff out of that, or knowledge about your place. So I think those are really good ones as well, and they can be really interesting too. Or maybe listen to different speakers from those places. There's a lot of good options out there to research the history of the place that you're going to before you actually go. And then once you're there, there's a lot of things that you can do too. I think the best one and probably most exciting one is to talk with the locals. Ask them about the history. Ask them to share, about their family's history in that place, or how they got to where they are today, and that sort of thing. That'll really give you a firsthand type of experience of how this place got to be how it is today. But you can also take walking tours. Walking tours are great. It's a great way to explore the city. It's usually pretty cheap in terms of cost. And you're going to have a local expert, local guide who can share the history of the place with you. And you can see in real time all of these different kind of odes to history around the city, and get to experience them from an expert. You can also visit the local tourism office. That's always going to have a lot of good resources. They're going to be really knowledgeable about the history as well. There's probably cultural centers in the different places you're going to. Those are really good spots as well. That's going to be all about the culture, which is going to give you a lot of information, a lot of knowledge on how the culture has been shaped over the years and how it is today, and some of the challenges they're facing to keep their culture today too, which I think is an important thing to note as well, in our travels and as the world becomes more and more interconnected. And then the last one would be like a history museum. I love going to history museums. Usually a lot of like bigger cities or bigger places will have like the one I'm thinking of up off the top of my head about is the New Mexico State History Museum, or the Kansas History Museum that I went to. I know, especially like in different states, there's usually one major history museum, and that's going to give you a lot of history of how the landscapes changed over the years in that particular state or that area. It's going to give you a lot of like cultural history there as well. I really liked like the civil rights museums, history museums down in Alabama and Georgia. Those are really informative as well, and how that's shaped the culture down there. So those are really, really good resources, and I think a lot of fun. I don't know. That's just me when I travel. I love experiencing the history. I love getting to know the culture, how it is today, and how it's shaped. That's just fun. It's fun to see different ways of life and get to understand them better. And it's good to get a deeper understanding of why things are the way that they are. And then I can take a lot of that back into my own life as well, which is really fun also. Also one that is kind of unique, but I think can be interesting as well. And this, it's kind of like a little bit of a paradox where like learning this will also help with learning the history, and learning the history will also help with learning this. But language, getting to know a little bit about the language, learning the language as much as you can, talking with a local about the language, that sort of thing. Getting to understand the language will, like I said, help you get to understand the history of the place a little bit better. I know there's always that example of like the Alaskan Native people have like 27 different words for ice, whereas people in really hot climate have no words for ice or something like that. So you can see how this specific place has shaped the culture as well, or shaped the language also, and how the language has helped shape the history as well. So a lot of interesting things that you can do, a lot of fun things that you can do. I love doing all of those, as you can see with reading the book right now. One trip I got coming up is Morocco, so I'm going to do some research there, get to understand that culture a little bit better before I head there. And then I'm really looking forward to learning a ton about Morocco and Moroccan culture when I'm there next month. So there's some ideas for you guys. Hope you enjoyed. If you want some more content, please subscribe. I really appreciate it. Helps me out a lot. Helps me help you. So if you can hit that subscribe button, that'd be awesome. Like it, share it, comment, do whatever. All of it's awesome. Or if you don't want to do anything, that's cool too. I don't really care. This is just fun for me, but I want to help as many people as I can. And by doing those things, you can help me help you and help others too. So appreciate you guys again, and keep traveling the world, and I will see y'all soon.